Welcome to Vlogtober episode 3. We're starting on Sunday the 10th of October with a lovely walk along to St Leonard's on Sea. It's a very lovely day here on the coast in East Sussex. I have spent the whole morning trying to get a doctor's appointment. I rang at 8 and I've just given up. It's 11. I have some kind of problem with my thumb, which is a huge problem in that I can't really do anything particularly with it. I can do stuff, but it's painful. And this is where you begin to have problems when you are a freelancer and you use your hands to earn your living. So little bit of an issue there. I'm gonna have to keep trying, otherwise I probably would have to go to the hospital. But I just feel yeah, like I should really be able to get a doctor's appointment. It's pretty horrific now, and I'm sure so many of us are in the same boat. Anyway, so yesterday I had a lovely time with my bestie and her little boy. She has a toddler. I forgot how sticky toddlers are, but I had a great time with them, and we went for a really lovely big walk and played in the park and chatted and had coffee and cake. And today was to sew, but sewing is slightly tricky for me at the moment. So what I'm doing instead today, which is probably not that interesting, so I'm not going to do too much vlogging today. I have got the go-ahead for my venues for in real life classes, so I'm just working out dates and writing all the bump and getting my website ready for, you know, launching those, because especially as if one's thumb is we have to think about other things to do. And I am really, really grateful for all your feedback for yesterday's episode of Vlogtober and your thoughts on, you know, especially what I was saying about moving forward and mental health and so on. So appreciated. You really are all. There's a reason why I call you Lovelies, because you are lovely. Yeah, so I'm gonna crack on and get all that done, because I can do just like finger typing, and we shall see how the day goes. But I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I'll check in with you anon. It's Thursday the 14th of October. This week has been a little bit rubbish in terms of vlogtobering. I have had a bad thumb, still got a bad thumb, can't get a doctor's appointment at the moment, still trying, and I have had a really bad tummy. So I've just been feeling very sorry for myself really, and I haven't got very much done. I've just published this week's video on YouTube for you, so I really hope you enjoy that. I thought that I would show you some of my pictures on my wall downstairs in my studio, dining room, whatever it is. This room really needs to be decorated and tidied up a little bit, but I am loving the pictures on this wall, so I thought I'd show you. I am drinking a cup of tea, as always. It's very, very crisp and autumnal here today, and I haven't really done very much sewing, even though I have got lots to do. And but I'm just trying to pace myself a bit, because I don't want to damage my finger anymore, otherwise I won't be able to do anything at all. So whilst I let my finger rest, I shall show you some stuff which hopefully you'll enjoy. So you walk directly into the ground floor of my cottage, which is why having this as a workspace is problematic, because you always have to walk through it. And there's a very big ingle nook here, which is named the Ingle Nook of Shame. and I've got a curtain over it because it's got loads of sewing-y stuff, and it really shouldn't have stuff in it, but it has. So I call it the Ingle Nook of Shame, and hopefully soon it will just be an Ingle Nook of Ingle Nook. Somewhere for spiders to live. There's a horseshoe. I need to get that paint off it. This is going to be painted black again. I have a skull here. I know some people don't like skulls. Don't come for me. I like them. This is a vintage, or antique actually, from a local antique shop. Years and years ago now. I've had it a very, very long time. These are a couple of my favourite, well, I'm going to be saying everything's my favourite thing because I've put it on my wall because these are my favourites. This is a vintage playing card, planets and stars, I do like. And then here is a little iron, I suppose it's like a door knocker, but it's Bat Finkelstein. And Bat Finkelstein sits here very happily on this gallery wall above the Ingle Nook. And then I have a faux bit of taxidermy of a stag head. This is just from a local cheapy shop one Christmas. It was only a few pounds, but needs a bit of a dust actually. And then I have a butterfly, real butterfly. I'm thinking about taking up etymology. I think is that what it's called? Anyway, mounting butterflies and so on, and in frames. It's something that I'd like to do. I don't know if that makes me really creepy. I can understand why some people wouldn't want to do it. This one I bought locally in the same shop as the skull actually. And then above I have a Nick Knight portrait that I got from the Isabella Blow exhibition that was at Somerset House many years ago. A very pretty frame actually. I wish I had lots more nice frames. And then I have this cat sort of person. I think the artist is called Stephen Mackay. I'll have to have a little look. I think it's really, really beautiful. It's just a card that I bought and I framed it. I think that's a really good way of getting quite nice art for your walls, nice postcards and cards that you pick up, and then if you put them in nice frames, that's a nice idea. So they all kind of, there's a few spaces on this wall, but I think it's all looking quite nice. And then this is a little metal hand by a friend of mine called Nina Cosford, who's an illustrator, but she had these like metal hand versions of her illustrations. That's hanging up there. And these lovely roses are by a local guy who actually teaches, or I think he still teaches, at the college that I teach at, and he has a letterpress, and he's got these really beautiful, I just thought that was really beautiful. It reminded me of sort of 1930s Vogue illustrations. And then I have another vintage playing card, this pin-up lovely here, and a very old mirror. There are still a few spaces on this gallery wall, but I'm going to have a lot of fun filling them. Good morning. It is Saturday the 16th of October, and today is a fabulous day because it's the Hastings Bonfire night. It's my favourite night of the year here. It didn't happen last year, obviously, because of the pandemonium, but it's on tonight. There's a huge procession, there's fireworks, and I shall be taking you along so you can see the craziness of it all. I have vulcanised my fringe, wonkily, as per. Today is just a working day for me, so I'm going to be sewing some commissions and taking some photos for some promotional material for my class, an IRL class, which I am then going to film as an online class called Mastering Measurements for Dressmaking. Now I teach this to my evening class, and they actually said to me that I should put this out there because it's genius. Their words, not mine. But I'm quite happy to claim a little tiny smidge of geniusness with this, because it really is the, you know, it's all my years of sewing, all my years in industry, basically condensed into this process that helps you measure things and, you know, really be a much better dressmaker. So I'm sort of working on that. I've got the dates confirmed. I'm just doing the marketing stuff and need some pretty pictures. And yeah, so I'm going to get on with that. This week's been a bit of a, because one still has a gammy thumb, one could not get an appointment, and I just felt like it just felt ridiculous to me to go to A&E or the ER room to, like, because my finger's sore. But I do really need to get it looked at, so I'm going to deal with that at some point too. I've been watering my plant that I've brought down here. It's Norbert. It's a castor oil plant, and I got him when he was quite small, but he grows really, really well, and the cats don't seem to nibble his leaves, although it looks like they have tried to nibble his leaves. But I bought it there so it's less accessible. And Loki is drinking the water that I've just watered Norbert with. The medication that he's on is like a gastrointestinal thing, and it looks like he's got IBS or IBD. He's not got any worse. He's got quite a lot better, actually. He's a lot more his old self, but he's not 100% his old self. But I have been cooking all of his food fresh, so I've been cooking him chicken and fish and not giving him any pre-made cat food at the moment, and that just seems to have really helped him. He seems, oh, Loki, he seems a much happier chappy. Trying to get a tape measure to behave and be photogenic and aesthetic is a very frustrating task. Uh-oh. The weather is not looking very good for bonfire night. I'm loving this eerie light that's happening. I'm finally having to accept that I cannot see, and threading my overlocker, which is what I'm doing because it needs a bit of fixing, is really important. And then also this happens, and it always happens. My fringe is not Vulcan enough every single time. A fringe is a commitment. That's all I'm saying. It's a commitment. And sometimes I wonder whether I should consciously uncouple from the Vulcan fringe commitment. Anyway, that's all. I'm fixing my overlocker. So I'm ready to go off out in a minute and watch the procession and fireworks. I'm making mulled cider, or mullered cider as I like to call it. I'm wearing my vintage tassel beret in the arsenic colourway. And this is a Nina Lee Bloomsbury blouse dress hack. And I've done some kind of curly whirly with my hair, but it never really works. I'm going to sign off to Vlogtober episode 3, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed spending some time with me this spooky season in my little cottage by the sea, and you haven't already subscribed, then please feel free to. I love to share my sewing love with you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to spend time with me. I hope you keep safe and well. I will see you in the next one. Have fun, my lovelies. Bye.